Hi everyone, welcome back. I am back with another Camp Scrap-A-Lot challenge. This time it's challenge number 5, Pack It Up, and this is all about layers. For my layers, I wanted to show you two different ways that you could do layers. The first of which is layers on paper. So I am taking a wood grain paper, and for those of you that know me, you know I am not a fan of wood grain by itself. So I'm going to show you how to make the wood grain work for me. I took a stencil, and this is the gingham stencil. I have no idea. I will just link to my little scrapbook store, and you guys can go and look for stencils. But there's a lot of different options. But I'm starting with a stencil and the Candied Apple Distress Oxide, and I am using the Pink and Main blending brush and just overlapping it. Now, this particular stencil, you have to figure out how to overlap it just right. And anyway, I don't do the best job at that, but it's there. So basically, I have started with the first layer on this paper as a stencil of gingham, and then we're going to continue to add layers onto this paper. And that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of say is that you can make the challenges work for you. If you're not somebody that likes to put a bunch of different papers on, you could use the layer challenge by adding layers onto the paper. My next layer is going to be some yellow stamping. And this time I'm using the Catherine Pooler ink in yellow. And the yellow on the wood grain did not turn out the best, but you can kind of see it there. And in the close-ups, you'll see that you can see it. So I'm stamping with an Ali Edwards COVID stamp set, and I think it was called the New Normal, and I'm using the masks because what you'll see is in the picture that I'm going to use, we are wearing masks, so I wanted to kind of have that little nod to the fact that this was during COVID. And I am just double stamping, so the second layer here is the mask stamps, and I am double stamping in the yellow and the white. Particularly if you have a darker paper, think about using white as an outline instead of black. It kind of adds a different look. I did use the White Daisy pigment ink from Close to My Heart. It's my favorite white ink. It tends to work pretty well, so just as a shout out, I know Tisa from the design team sells Close to My Heart, so you could probably hit her up and get that ink. It's one of my favorites. The next is just going to be another stamp set. This one is, I believe, another Ali Edwards set, and I'm just going to have some circles in the sapphire ink. That's another Close to My Heart ink. It's one of my favorite blues. And I am loving, and one of the things I did, I know the picture is going to go in the middle, so I started in the middle with all of these just to kind of see what it looked like. I am loving just how this is turning out. So my first layer was stenciling, my second layer is stamping, and now I'm going to add a third layer using another stencil. This is a Vicky Bouton stencil, the Tim Holtz embossing dauber, the Ranger embossing dauber, and I realized right then as I looked at it that the ink is actually not coming out. So if you're using this dauber, you really have to push down to get the liquid to come out of it. So I pushed down, and then once it started coming out, I could see it go through. So just make sure you're actually getting the embossing ink onto the page with this dauber. The dauber is a great way to use stencils. I find that it works really well, and you're going to see how well it works here in just a second. And then I'm going to use white embossing powder on top of that just to add one more kind of layer and texture to this paper. So we stenciled and we stamped, and now we're embossing. So that is all kinds of layers on one piece of paper. And I could have stopped here and used this paper, and that would have met the challenge requirements of lots of layers. So think about that when you're looking at our challenges. If you think to yourself, well, this doesn't really fit my style, I don't use a lot of paper on a page, this is a different way that you could have made it work. And all of our challenges are like that. You can make them work for your style. If you have questions or concerns, reach out to the design team members. This time we're doing something a little bit different in that we are having albums of our challenge entries separate from the actual challenges. So you can see Sherry's entries or B's entries or T's entries, and that way you can see our style. So if you really relate to one of us and the style that we have, my style is typically, kind of more simple pages, 30-minute pages. And you could go and look at mine. Or if you like a little bit more mixed media, T or Tisa might be the person you look at. So go and look at the different design team members and you can see the different style they have. So now I'm going to do kind of the next phase, which is the paper layers. So I actually am taking a picture from the Wadsworth Museum in Hartford, and I am really inspired by the mural that's on the wall there in one of the galleries. And you can see it, it's kind of a rainbow mural. It's one of John and I's favorite kind of places to go and see. We discovered it in 2019 or 2020, I think. I think it was like the last vacation. It was like an overnight for Valentine's Day that he and I took before COVID hit. And we really just fell in love with this museum. And then because of COVID, haven't been able to go back. So we were able to finally take the kids, take Drew there this summer, at the beginning of the summer, and just had a beautiful, just a beautiful day. And just seeing, kind of the museum through other people's eyes was a lot of fun. And here I am layering up a bunch of different papers. So now, much like what we did with the stamping and the stenciling, I am showing you how you can do this particular page with paper layers. So I started with a background paper that I actually made with a stencil and some more Distress Oxide ink. I used a rainbow stencil from, I believe it was scrapbooks.com, and did it with different colors of the oxide ink. And I then put it on the bottom, and then I used a blue paper on the side, a small layer. I framed my photo in a yellow, and then I used the rainbow stripe in the back of the layered paper that I created. So I've got, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 different layers of paper there, all on the page. Because I do have so much paper and so much color going on, I'm not going to do a lot of embellishment. It's just not my style. So I am going to do a title here across the side that says Museum Family Fun Day. And it was a family fun day. And then we're just going to have a couple of embellishment clusters. But while you're watching me put the title on, let's just talk about the challenges over at My Little Scrapbook Store. So we do have a crop-specific Facebook page. It's a closed private group, and we run all of our crops there. So the crop for August is a Camp Scrap-A-Lot theme, so it's a vacation theme. So all of the challenges are based on different vacations. And I think if you go over there, you'll see they're a lot of fun. There are 23 challenges for the main crop that are all available through the month of August. So you have all of August to do them. And then there is one challenge that is a crop only challenge that you're supposed to do that weekend. And so if you're watching this kind of live on August or on July 30th, please take the time to go over and enter that challenge as well. But so that's a total of 24 different challenges. Each of the individual challenges is option for a $10 gift card. And then there is a combined challenge for the crop August challenges of I Did It All. It doesn't include the weekend crop, so that's only for the challenges that are all through August. And it is for $50, a $50 gift card. Last time we had quite a few people who were able to do it all, and some people won the $50 gift card, and that was really cool to see. I really recommend just joining in on the fun. We're going to have design team Zooms where you can talk to all of us together or see all of us together kind of doing different challenges. We're going to have open crop rooms every night at 8 p.m. so that you could join in, and all times are Eastern. So if you're in the West Coast, it starts a little bit earlier. But you'll be able to do open Facebook room crops where you can just talk to different people. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So please come over and join us. The design team's really working hard to kind of give you a lot of different experiences this time, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. This is one of the challenges that is going to be there. So the Pack It Up challenge with the layers. I personally am doing a live on Sunday for my challenge, which is called Make New Friends, and it's about combining designers. But I think that you'll enjoy all the different challenges that are out there. Thank you so much for watching, and as you're seeing now, I am pulling out just from my ephemera box just some different shapes to see what I want to add in there. I've got books because it was a museum. I think I end up bringing out like a happy rainbow because of the rainbow background. I have a wood heart. Just trying to find things. And this is just the box of things that I didn't get rid of when I, got done with different embellishment packs. And, I go through it about once a year and I purge. Basically, get rid of things I don't think I'm ever going to use. And because I do so much kits, I tend to not use as much of the leftover ephemera. But things like this, when the ephemera package that went with this paper line was all summer themed, didn't really fit, it helps to be able to pull stuff out. So I always think about just kind of getting rid of all that ephemera, and then something will pop up where I end up using it. So this is kind of my final finished page. Not a lot of embellishment on there. I did get a little bit of glue on John's face, so hopefully he never watches this to see that. But thank you so much for watching. Here's kind of a close-up of the layers on the background paper. You can see those masks and the final page. Come on over and join us at my little scrapbook store for our crop. I think that you'll have fun. Bye-bye.